Everyone, Jenny Line coming live here on my profile. Right, let's dive into live Tuesday again. So happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a nice time over the festive period and that you enjoyed it with your loved ones and all those wonderful things. So I'm going to introduce myself. So if you don't know me and we have never met, and this is the first time that you are visiting my profile, I'm Jenny Lyon Rainbow Anderson, and I am a master healer, a channel, and I'm also a business mentor for spiritual entrepreneurs. I've been doing what I do for over 23 years now, and yeah, that's me. So I want to see if you guys can hear me, see me. Why don't you drop a comment in the comment box so I can see you and hear you, make sure that everything's working properly. I can see that somebody's watching, but I don't know who you are or anything yet. So today we are going to talk about supercharging your intuition to become a better leader. And this is a topic that I am super passionate about, and it's also something that I really help and activate in my clients to become more trusting actually of their intuition and use their intuition in their leadership, in their business, to make not just to make better decisions, but to amplify really the results. And I'm going to break it down today. We're going to talk about decision making. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about client attraction, and we're going to talk about money attraction as well, because we can use our intuition as like a super tool. It's like a superpower, and many people are using it. I believe that most entrepreneurs are using their intuition at some level because, they're kind of guiding themselves. And I believe that many leaders and CEOs and executives are doing it as well. They may not know that they're doing it, or they may not sort of label it as intuition. It might be like a gut feeling or feeling guided or things like that, right? So let's just call it intuition today for the sake of the training. And let me know who's there. So I'm going to have a look. Who is this? Hello. So there's somebody on Facebook. Not sure who that is. It might be, not sure who that would be. What you can do actually, if you would like to, connect with me with your name, you can go to https://chat.restream.io/Facebook, and that will then show your name. So if you give Restream permission to show your identity, I can see who you are. Okay, so let's dive in. So everyone has intuition. It's not like some people do and some people don't. Everyone has intuition. Everyone is equipped like in this way, and there's only really a few reasons why the intuition would be blocked, and they are either like negative beliefs, or there would have been a situation when you were younger where you maybe as a child felt very intuitive, and then perhaps your surroundings or parents or school or people around you said that you shouldn't, that's just nonsense, or like, you shouldn't be saying that. Many children connect with the other side and things like that, and they will just, maybe as children, they would have been said, oh no, that's just fantasy, it's just your imagination. So then the intuition can get like shut down. We also have like literally, if you're not very well and your health is not great, and if your body is like toxic, if you've had operations, or if you haven't been looking after your physical body so much, and maybe people, if they have a lot of processed food and alcohol and drugs and things like that, will also really dull your intuition. So obviously I always talk about optimizing your health all the time so that your intuition then become optimized. But that is one element as well. There could be like times where you used your intuition and then spoken freely from a place of feeling really sure about how you feel, and then it didn't turn out so well, perhaps not because you were not right, but because other people or whatever, right? And then it feels like you couldn't use your intuition anymore. Also, when it comes to leadership and when it comes to presenting like some sort of hard data to teams or other people or groups or in leadership, of course, when you have some statistics and some data and some hardcore facts about certain things, it's easy for the human brain to accept it. But if you come up with an idea where you had no hard facts and there are no statistics available and it's an intuitive nudge, it may be harder to get heard, right? And this is just because how society is created. We're coming from a space of intellectual sort of performance, if that makes sense. So intuitive performance has not been very, I wouldn't say it's maybe not endorsed, right? So intellectual performance is endorsed, but intuitive performance has not been endorsed yet. So I am here as a leader in my own right to help you become so powerful in your intuition that we can actually start claiming intuition as an endorsed superpower in the world, in the society, in school, in companies, in places, right? So if we can make it an endorsed skill, how that's going to look, I'm not sure yet, but if I keep going and I keep talking about it and I keep teaching and helping my people become an unstoppable intuitive channel, I'm sure that that's going to happen over time, right? So let's just talk about the four things that I was going to say to you. So decision, leadership, client attraction, and money attraction. So when it comes to, so let's talk about the decision making. So whether you work in a company or whether you work in your own business, decision making is something in leadership that you're going to be faced with like on a daily basis. So like if you work for yourself, you will have to make decisions every day about what you're going to do or who you're going to talk to and what you're going to delegate and whatever else, right? So you have to make decisions all the time. If you work in a company and you're a leader or an executive or a team leader, or you have a team like somewhere, or in some sort of shape or form, you are expected to make decisions like probably on a daily basis, right? So some of those decisions will be intellectual based because it makes sense. It kind of could be, how much more of this budget do we have to look? How much more of the budget is left to spend until the quarter ends, and what are we going to spend it on? So there will be some data that you could fall on and say, right, okay, well, we can spend it on this because it worked last time, let's try it. But you may have an intuitive nudge and say, right, do you know, I've been talking to this specific provider or whatever it is, and say, look, I feel like we should try this company instead and spend with them instead. Well, that's where the magic is. So having that feeling, that intuitive sort of like almost like more than a nudge, it's like an intuitive sort of like navigation, and this gut feeling, you really meant to do it. So I'm sure lots of leaders are doing that, but trusting it when you have no data to back up your decision is going to be harder than if you have some data, right? So how do we know it's the right thing? Okay, so here's some scientific facts about intuition. So like your brain is perceiving like information. It's like taking in information, it's processing it, it's deciding what to do with the information, etc., etc. That's like intellectual processing, right? When your heart, so the heart matter, it's like a heart intelligence, yeah? So we have also the heart as a processor, actually. And the heart is kind of like, I don't know exactly scientifically how this works, but I know that the heart matter, the electromagnetic frequency of the heart, has got its own processing. And the heart access information on the subconscious level earlier and quicker and in an irrational, it's like irrational way. It's not rational. It just makes sense. Or it just feels right. It accesses information in this way, and they have said that the heart processing, or the way the heart picks up information, is way before the mind will pick up. An example would be, for example, if somebody's going to cross the road, you know, when you get like premonitions, someone's going to cross the road and they get hit by a car. I know that's a bit maybe an awful example, but there's like time they can see in people, they've done some tests, how the heart matter is reacting to what's going to happen, or they can have measured it before it's happened. So to say that we should have only intellectual based decisions in wherever we're moving, whether it's in our own business or in leadership, is kind of a little bit limiting, knowing that the heart matter and the heart intelligence, intuition, is more advanced, right? So when we get this nudge and this gut feeling, we can feel it in our body, the heart expands, and we're just like, yeah, that is the time to say yes to that. And so go, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And I guess you've got to do it enough times to get data and evidence that it's working, and then keep doing it, and then do it more and more and more, right? The next thing is in the leadership itself. So a leader who has got intuitive like skills will be able to, not just on a team level, but like if they're leading people, and if they are like the leading force of these people, the team or whatever, and they're making decisions and all those things, if they have intuition, if they've supercharged their intuition, they can tune in like to their team. They can become much more holistic in their sort of perception and how they perceive the team's performance and what to do next. It's almost like their senses become amplified, and they're able to read the team in a much more advanced and sophisticated way, because their intuition and their consciousness is expanded, which means that they won't miss things. It's like they have this overview where they can pick up information, not just from the verbal and written, communication, but energetic communication. They can actually pick that up and start understanding what to do with that. That's a very unusual way of like processing information that we talk about. There are going to be loads of people doing that, like already, leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who are actually processing information with their whole energy. And that is becoming like more superhuman, like more advanced and more sophisticated in your way of processing, receiving, and communicating the whole. So, the brain makes out like we're using 10% of our brain, and that's like an intellectual level. So if we are bypassing, or if we kind of not ignoring, but kind of not valuing the extrasensory skills that we have as a human, we are like really missing out. we're really missing out on becoming better for performers, better leaders, better business owners, better entrepreneurs, better everything. So I'm here to help you really supercharge and amplify your intuition. The next one is client and money attraction. So we can maybe call them the same in a way. So the way I use my intuition to create more client attraction and more money attraction is client attraction. I can use my intuition to decide who I want to work with. So if I have this kind of nudging no, that person will just fall off, and that was not an aligned dream client. And then when a dream client and like an ideal client comes up that I energetically can feel is right, I can say yes, I can open my energy up to that. And then that will then become a yes, and it's a working relationship, right? With money, what I do, this is just how I do it. But I very much follow my intuition to create my next move in my business. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs actually do that. But how to create more cash and more money is basically coming up with offers and inviting people to things that you offer, that offer them a transformation that feels exciting to you. And the way I do it in my business is like intuitively I'm led to put a specific program out, or talk about a specific offer, or talk about a specific transformation that I offer at a specific time when it feels exciting, when it feels expansive, when it feels like it's the right time. Yeah. So I have a marketing calendar and schedule over the year, but in between I float with my intuition and use it like to create this type of energy, so that I can quite easily talk about new offers and transformation and things like that. And people will sign up because my intuition told me like a big yes. Right. That was actually today's training, and I'm going to make sure I just leave a couple of minutes in the end here, and I'm going to talk to you about Light Up Your Inner CEO, which is a program that you may have not heard of, but if you would like to know more, I'm going to talk for the next 5 minutes about it. And this is the Rolls Royce of amplifying your intuition, this program, because it includes the light body activations and the clearings that will amplify your channel so that you can become an unstoppable force of nature within your capacity of your work, within your entrepreneurship, within your, if you are a business leader or working in a place where you want to become more powerful in a positive way, right? Then this program is absolutely for you. So Light Up Your Inner CEO is a group program that I'm starting I start on 26th of March this year. There's 2 groups every year, so one in the autumn and then one in the spring. So 26th of March we start this program. This program is concludes of light body activations and energy work, like multidimensional healing, frequency work, subconscious rewiring, shadow work. We are also letting go of all old stories and things like that. So it really is like a DNA upgrade. And what happens is that when a person clears their trauma, subconscious wiring, DNA, when they clear the ancestral line, when they do all those things, what happens is that they become clearer channels, and then automatically the intuition becomes like 1,000-fold amplified. So this is one of the results. That's not the only result from this program, but is one of the results from this program is that the intuition becomes, super amplified. The program is very intimate. I normally only have between 8 and 10 people, sometimes less, in this particular program. We do the clearings. I do the clearings and the work on the group every 2 weeks, and then there's a little bit of homework, and there is also some self-study material, and there's like a very holistic, complete support with the group. And it's typically like really good for entrepreneurs and leaders, because as entrepreneurs, You want to be this person who is like an unstoppable force of nature with loads of creativity, amazing intuition, feeling on fire every day. Like, you know what I mean? You want to be like that so that you can keep moving your business forward. And as a leader, if you work in an organization, you want to become magnetic. You want to be feeling really good about yourself so that you can lead the team. You want to be inspiring and energizing to the people around you. And that's exactly what happens there. So you also become really very spiritually connected through this program as well. It's like you're advancing these superhuman qualities that you have already, but they become like a thousandfold, and you become a very, very sort of powerful, rounded human being, which is actually your true nature. So yeah, this is a real good program that we're going to start now again on the 26th of March. So you can click on the link and have a look at the page. You're really meant to kind of book a call with me to make sure that it is a good fit. And you can do that from the page as well. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you. And if you have any questions, like, you know, you may not want to do this program. You might want to have you might have some other questions about intuition, about your energy, embodied leadership, mastery, self-mastery, energy mastery, in all these ways, and in all this way I talk about it. Just drop me a message. We can have a chat. There's other ways to do things with me as well. But I want to invite you to this program. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to have you people there and really help you transform on the deepest level of the human that is actually available on Earth. And yeah, can't wait to see you there. If you have any questions, don't forget to send them to me. I'm always here to help.